everyone. Welcome to our Friday Q&A. I'm Janna Mathews.
And I am Mark Martin. Happy to be here.
And we are going to be talking about the Unique 21. I like to nickname, Mark, I don't know if you've heard this recently, I've nicknamed the 21 our diva of our machine offerings because it can only work with certain things, right? We talked about, like we're always talking about what frames, and the other machines can work with everybody, but the 21 only works with certain ones, so I've called it the diva.
That's funny, the diva. But that's a good thing. I mean, it only works with that because of the size, which we'll get to in this segment, the size of the machine here. So,
well, welcome everybody. We'd love to see where you're watching us from. So it looks like we have Judy from Georgia. Welcome. So put it in the comments, wherever you are. Today we have a beautiful fall day. We've had some great rain over the evening, and we're gonna have, like, I think it was a high of like in the low 60s, so yeah, it's just beautiful.
Beautiful day. And some of you guys might be thinking 60s. Yeah, that's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Great temperature, so we'll roll with the 60s.
Well, welcome Brenda. Looks like she's watching us from Michigan. Great to have you. Again, just put in the chats. I think every time we have these, I'm surprised how many people are watching all across the United States, right? Like, it's not just, I'm thinking, oh, they're just gonna be watching us from Utah and that's it. But
nope.
We've got Georgia now, Michigan, we've got Susanna from Florida. Welcome. Oh, very sunny there.
Alabama,
love that.
Deborah. Yeah, that's because, you know what? Grace is everywhere.
It's true.
So we need to have everybody in different countries, different cities, different states, because we are everywhere. Arizona, we're even
welcome,
in Arizona.
Karen. Looks like Sandra from New Mexico. Wonderful to have you here.
Yeah, keep them coming in. I love doing these because it talks about what everybody is thinking about, right? The questions, what's going on, and we're going to talk about the out-of-box experience, the maintenance, the size, the speed, the screen, the color, the handlebar. I mean, everything you can think about the 21 we'll be talking about. So if you have questions, bring them in as well. If you've been thinking about a question that we haven't got to, or you want to bring it up so we can answer it. Or
something that you think, I have always wanted to know this, right? And it's like in any of the demonstrations, that one thing gets missed, maybe it was one time or something. So we want to know, what do you think about the Unique machines? We want to hear what your questions are about the 21. We want to hear, like, if you've thought, oh, I have a smaller Unique machine, and how do you upgrade to the 21? We want to hear about that. We also want to hear about, is it limited, right? Because people always ask, well, what can I do on that Unique machine? What limitations are there? So if we don't get to those in our presentation or your questions, just bring them in. But welcome everybody else that's coming. Looks like we have, we've had Patsy from South Carolina, and Brenda said it's 79 in Michigan. Shelby from New Hampshire, Wendy from Iowa. And so I think we've got our first question. Is there a long wait to get a recertified 21X Elite?
Well, what is a long wait? But no, the answer is no. However, with the limited stock of the 21X Elite recertified, that could be then the determining factor. But as we have some, the wait is, there's no wait.
Yeah, it's just the shipping time. So just to give everybody a time for how long it takes for any order that you process, if you're purchasing it online or over the phone, it usually takes us about 1 to 2 days for processing. That's for our orders to come over, for the ability to get it going through the warehouse, for them to get it boxed, and well, it's already boxed, but shipped with the labels on, and get it out to the shipper. And then depending on where you live in the United States is how long it takes to ship. So if you're close to Utah, it's going to take less time to ship. Yeah. But if you're all the way, like we just had someone in New Hampshire, that's going to take a couple of more days.
Yes.
So always factor that in. It's the warehouse is here in Salt Lake, so it's shipping from Salt Lake to wherever you are. We're not Amazon yet, where we have warehouses all over the United States for shipping.
Also, as we're talking about the questions, and some of you guys might bring up, how can I get it? We have dealers all around the nation. We have dealers internationally. So wherever you're listening to, go on, find that local dealer and support your local dealer. They are wonderful. We have awesome dealers that we get to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so if you're looking at this machine, and we've done videos in the past with other machines on these Q&As, so if you're seeing any of the Unique line, go to our local dealers, and you can see right here how you go find a local dealer, and it'll bring up, you can fill in some of the filters if you want to
Right, the
narrow it down.
Unique filter, right, to make sure that they carry the Unique product instead of just True Cut or Grace products or Finesse. But then you can see there, you can put in your postal code. I usually just do it by state. That way I can see who's in my state, and then I kind of do the other states around to see, oh, is there, maybe it's not in my state, but I'm on the border, so maybe they're on the border.
You can see all those red dots, and so we have a lot of wonderful dealers. Again, support your local dealer. They love it, we love it, and when there's a lot of love, it's a win-win-win. So go to your local dealer and support them. Brenda, is it Johnstone? Mm-hmm. She has a funny comment, question mark. I love my 15R, but it's on the Evolution Elite frame, and she shrunk.
I think the Evolution Elite frame does look like the 15R makes it look a little bit smaller.
It is a big frame.
It's a big frame. It's a beefy frame. It's got that able to be, stronger, thicker legs. So it does give that appearance that the 15R is a little bit.
You could always go bigger if you feel like your machine shrunk.
To the 21X
Elite. So. Keep all the comments coming in. Continue to say where you are. You can say something funny, your weather, that's all great. But if you do have questions, if you've been thinking about the 21X Elite and you've been thinking about what size of frame, what can it do, we'll get into all of that. But if you have a question right now, go ahead and bring it in and we can answer those questions. And we'll answer your questions as we go with what people's been asking us over the years with our machines. So we'll have our own questions that will come up.
Well, I think the first one is what I mentioned earlier, is that the 21X Elite can only function on the Elite frames. So that's the Quilter's Evolution Hoop frame, and then the Quilter's Evolution Elite frame. Both of those have the carriage space to do the 21 inches. Now, technically, the 21 can fit on any of our other frames, but you'll just lose out some of that throat space. So when it only allows a 19 inches, you could put the 21 on a cutie, but you would lose 21 inches of throat space.
You'll lose 2 more inches of throw space, not 21 inches. Yeah, you
don't
lose 21, you'll lose 2 inches of throw space on the QD.
So you'll lose that extra throat space. So really, to get the most out of the 21 and all its capabilities, you want to put it on the Evolution Hoop frame. Now that frame is at 5 feet. You can use it as a hoop or a rolling. It has both options. And then you can build onto it. So as you're going along, you can put a 2-foot extension or a 3-foot extension to get it up to that 10 or 12 feet. And then the Elite frame that comes in an 8, 10, or 12, that's the one that I think Brenda was talking about earlier, it shrunk. Well, with that larger frame, having the 21, you can have it in all those different spots.
Yep. All right, so let's get into the questions. We'll get into the machine, but we like to answer what's live. And so we have a question that from Patsy, Patsy Peak Good. Maybe one day I'll have room for a larger frame. I have the cutie frame. What is the next size up from the cutie frame? Great question. If you're thinking about in the hoop, if you're staying in the hoop family, the next size up from the cutie would be our Keystone hoop. The cutie right now is 4 feet, and it can fit on any table, just like the table we have right here. It can fit on
any flat surface.
Yep, any flat surface. The Keystone hoop would be the next size up, and that is 4.5 feet with legs on the Keystone hoop. So you do need to make room for that particular frame in your sewing studio, your house somewhere. The next size up from that is our Evolution hoop, which is our top of the line hoop. And not only is it a hoop, but you can also have it as a rolling rail. So if you're looking at doing the smaller quilts and you want to have a rail that just rolls it up instead of hooping the fabric, the Evolution hoop can do the rolling rail on the smaller items, and then on any larger king or larger than a king, then you can treat it as a hoop. So that's your lineup.
That one's 5 feet.
Yep, and that one's 5 feet.
So the cutie's 4, Keystone 4.5.
And then 5.
So those are your 5 feet with the Evolution hoop. So that's your kind of amount of time.
Yep. Deborah, do you lose throw space on the original Continuum frame? You do not. That can fit a 21. So if you have the original Continuum frame, whatever machine you have on there, this machine right here can fit on there without losing any space.
And the Continuum too. So when I was saying our current frames, these were ones that we're still selling.
Yeah.
The original and the Continuum 2 have both been discontinued. We still have parts, so I don't want anybody to freak out and say, I bought this and now you've discontinued it. It's like we still have replacement parts or things for that. We're just not selling it currently because as we've come out with the Evolution Elite frame, that's the one we're carrying now. But the 21 fits on both of those.
Yep.
There was a question, Shelby said, her comment was, sadly, no dealer within 200 miles of my home. Please work on Northern East Coast dealer. We are, but if you guys have any dealers that you work with and you're like, man, I love these people.
Any shops you love.
Yeah, and they always are so helpful, and I would love if they had Grace products. Send me an email, janna@graceframe.com, and give me their information so we can contact them and get Grace products close to you.
Yep. We'll continue to work on our dealer network. It's an ongoing thing because there's a lot of shops out there, and so we'll continue to bring that up. So there's Janna's email.
Yep, you can email me because we want to work with people that you love too, right? Like we love having great customer service. We want dealers who have great customer service. So if you love a place, let me know so we can get them contacted.
That's right. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about this beautiful machine that we have next to us. So I'm going to go ahead and just look at a couple questions or think about a couple questions that we ask all the time. One is, warranty. Speed is another one, but let's talk about the warranty of this wonderful machine. And because it's in our X Elite series, it has a different warranty than the rest of our machines.
Yeah. Well, and I love that we have it on a table rather on a frame, so you can see the whole thing. What does it look like? What's the bottom? How it's all connected? There's not different spots that get hidden with the fabric. You can see that 21 inches all the way, and then this fantastic harp. So it's not just, what's underneath the fabric. You can see everything really clearly.
That's right. So the warranty, what's the warranty on the Elite 21?
So it's a 10-year. That's different than other machines. 10 years on the outer body. So this is the metal body. Anything happens with this, that's the 10-year. 5-year on your manufacturing parts, and then 2-year on the electric.
Yeah, so it has a wonderful warranty. And outside of warranty, you may be thinking, okay, what happens after warranty? We will still take care of you. We have the parts. So if it's past warranty, you've had that. Now, the 21X Elite, obviously it hasn't passed those warranties because it's still one of the newer machines. And so if you have an X Elite, you'll be covered for a lot of years. So, all right, the other question we get is, the speed of the machine. And it is 2,600 stitches per minute.
That's so fast.
Yeah, it is
I
fast.
have never gone over, because sometimes when we're testing the machines, right, and I'm going a little fast, I've never gone over the beeping on the stitch regulation.
Yeah.
Other machines I get, I'm just testing it, so might be going a little fast. But the 21, I've never had it beep on me. That's a really fast machine.
It is really fast. Let's see, handlebars.
Adjustable
handlebars. So other machines, if you've been looking at them, they could be fixed. So these handlebars are adjustable, so we can move them down, we can move them up.
Move them out.
We
I
also
often need to move
extend
them
them.
out,
If you're vertically challenged, you can see that we can extend. Yes, Janna's like, yep, that's me. So you can extend out the handlebars. And so it is kind of customization of the machine, how you want it on the handlebar side. So it's really nice.
And the buttons on the handlebars, right? We've got our start and stop button. We've got our needle up and needle down, and then our up and down for your stitch per minute or stitch per inch. So wherever you are, you can't, even though it's a fantastic touchscreen, which we're going to go over.
Yeah.
But I love having that just start and stop button right there. Almost feels like a video game that I'm playing, or driving a motorcycle, right? Your start and stops right there.
Okay, we have a couple questions. Let's go and bring them up. So Judy.
I have the 21 Pro and Continuum 2 frame. Can I still get parts for these products?
Yes.
So we still are carrying parts for all of those. When you're thinking about what parts are covered, you can just call us or chat with us on our website, or you can email from our website, info@graceframe.com. But any of those ways you can contact us to see what's available and what part you need at the moment.
Yep. And then Deborah has a question. Does the full warranty cover the recertified? Absolutely. It does.
And that's one of
a
the
great thing. I love
fantastic
that.
things about
Yeah.
the recertified. Because people, a while ago, people were saying, oh, I want a refurbished machine. And these, technically you could say refurbished, but it's not. It's recertification. So when we have a machine come back, someone's upgrading or anything like that, we don't just take it and go, well, it kind of runs, and put it in a box and sell it to you. It goes through a whole point inspection. They run it, they time it, they make sure all the parts are correct. So it's not just come back, kind of test. It's a complete certification process. So that's why we call it a recertified, and then you get that brand new warranty on it as well.
Yep. All right. So let's move on. So other questions that come up with the 21X Elite.
The machine of how do we run it, right, through the tablet. Like, sure, these buttons work okay, but what does that mean? Why are we starting it where we are? What kind of stitch speeds do we have? All that kind of stuff.
So some of the questions that come up is how do we run it? So once it's plugged in, the machine has the play or stop button on the right side handlebar, and you'll see it has that like play icon that's on there. So it's really easy. So you can hit that one, and it will go. Mm-hmm. And that is the way to start it on the handlebars. And then on the screen, we also have that same icon on the screen, nice and big. There you go. So you can hit that one, and you're good to go ahead and start it. On the screen features too, it comes with, people ask all the time, so what kind of modes does it come with? Mm-hmm. And it has 4 different modes that it has. And so right now you see this in the based mode. I'm going to hit this down arrow. And there you go. We have precise, cruise, manual, and base. And so we won't get into all of those. We have a lot of wonderful videos that we've done in the past that talks about precise, cruise, base, and manual. So we won't get into any of those features, because you can watch those on other videos that we've done on not just this Elite machine, but our other unique line.
Machines, so. Yeah. The other thing I love about the 21X Elite and the whole X Elite series is the other extra features that are on the screen. So you can see on that screen we have a red bobbin, and what that means is I am almost out of bobbin thread if I was quilting.
Yep.
So you can go into your toolbox, and Mark, if you'll go and show them how to do that. So you go to the toolbox, and then you have your bobbin estimator. Now the reason it's called a bobbin estimator and not just a bobbin counter is because when you're pulling up your thread, it doesn't know how much thread you pulled up to when you're pulling it up to start quilting, or when you're first putting it on, or when you're finishing. So it's an estimate. So when you click on that bobbin estimator, it'll take you to a section where you go directly into, you can name your bobbins, and then you can say how many yards there are. And then when you add on, so why don't we say we're switching this out. So if we go into the bobbin estimator now, and we're gonna say, oh, we're gonna reset the estimated thread remaining yards. So it's gonna reset back to 60. And so now as we get out of it and close it, it should turn to green now. Now we've got a green bobbin, and we're all ready to go, and we can start quilting, and we know we're gonna have about 60 yards to play with. That's
right. So bobbin estimator is really, and there's other features on there from just edge warning, bobbin estimator, needle jog. And so again, the screen and the 21X Elite has a lot of wonderful features. So again, you can customize, you can dial down the lighting, you can turn off the lighting, you can turn the beeping noise off. So that all comes with the screen. But just know with the 21X Elite, 7-inch screen, LED, touch, and you can go from feature to feature really easy, either from the screen or on the handlebars.
It even has a how do I use my touch screen walkthrough, which I love, because it's like, well, if you've never used a touchscreen, now I hope by now everybody's used touchscreens either on their phones or tablets or everything, but maybe you haven't. You're like, well, I just want to walk through, and it'll go through step by step, telling you what this is, why would you be this be important. So all those things that you could possibly want in your machine and your frame, and it's all set to go.
Yep. Okay. Other questions are, does it come with the bobbin winder? I know other machines you go and buy a separate bobbin winder, which is fine. But this machine and the rest of our Unique line does have a built-in bobbin winder, and it uses the M-class bobbin. So some of the stuff you may are like, oh, I already knew or not, but there's a lot out there that they don't realize that the bobbin winder does come with the machine, and it is separate from the motor of the machine. I don't need the machine actually running. I need it turned on in order to use it, but I don't need it running in order to use it.
And I love, we've got these 2 thread masts here. So you can have this one threaded down to your needle, this one threaded to your bobbin winder, and it's just right back here. You can see we've got an M class on here on the back, and it's really easy. All you have to do is load it in for the way it's supposed to be and switch it over, and so you can see it's spinning there, and when it's done and full, it'll click off.
Yep. So bobbin estimator. I don't get this question too often, Janna, but a lot of people are like, why would I want a 21 inch, right? I already have like 19 or 15 or 16 or whatever machine. Because those are already big machines, right? Those are already considered a 15 inch, 16 inch, 18. Those are really good long arm machines. So why would I want to get a 21? And that question is kind of a loaded question because that kind of depends on maybe what your thought process and what you're doing. Why do you want 21? Because we all know, obviously, the 21 having a larger throat, bigger than those other machines, you can fill up more of your quilt area, you can finish more quilts. And so really that question is, why would I want to go 21? I guess there could be a lot of answers as to why someone would want to go with the 21 inch long throat.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest part is that you can just finish your quilt faster. I mean, true, you can do designs. There's ways to get around that, to cut your design in half or different things. But really, the amount of things that you're working on, you can just, before you have to advance your quilts, whatever frame you're using, you can just get that much more done. And so it just helps you get more quilts done faster.
That kind of goes along with the like rolling rail. So if you're doing a king size quilt and you have a little smaller machine on a king size quilt, or even a queen, or any size for that matter, you're advancing your fabric more often. So going with a larger machine kind of cuts down processes along the way. Less rolling the fabric because you're finishing more at a time. So you're not going over there often to advance the fabric. And so yeah, just the little things, because of the larger throat, you'll see start lasting longer.
It's true,
right? Because you have a larger throat. So
we've got a question that came in from Shelby Bailey. She says, I heard on Facebook that the Keystone Queen has the ability to be expanded. Is there a kit I can order?
Yes. So the Keystone Queen can extend to now a 10-foot. And when you do extend it, you get the larger rails that come with like our Continuum frame, even our Evolution Elite frame, which is those 1.5 inch diameter rails. And so once you extend the Keystone Queen, you get thicker rails. You do get the table inserts. And so it does come with all that. And you can find out, I believe it's on our website.
I'm not sure if it's on the website yet. I think so.
Because it is fairly new.
We just came out with it. Now, that does, when you're upgrading to that extension, it does keep it still with a 2-rail system, not a 3.
Yeah.
And it keeps it as a single track, not as a double track. So the dual track. So there are still some things you can see there, the price. Though that one's for the Continuum 2. I don't know if we've got it with the Keystone Queen yet. Up on the site, but it's coming out. I think they're getting it on the site by this weekend.
Yeah, but yeah, there is a kit for that. Sandy has a question. Do you have any deals on the recertified? So great question. I would say if you have a local dealer, contact them. Recertified machines are already at a really, really great price, and so contact your local dealer for what that price is.
Or you can look on our website either way,
and
then
we have
contact
those
the dealer to say, hey, I saw these recertifieds with Grace Company. Do you also have the ability? And they do have that ability to do recertified through them as well.
Yep. All right, we have another question from Carrie. Is there a big weight difference between the 19 and 21? I wouldn't say a big weight difference. Now the 21 is full cast iron. Okay, so if you've seen our 19 or 21, this is all full cast iron. Top to bottom is all cast iron, so it does have a little more weight to it. Our 19 is mostly cast iron, with the top being a very nice polymer plastic that comes at the top, and it's just the top kind of cover. And we did that way so you can put your cords in. So there's reasons as to what that is. But yes, because this is a full cast iron body, it does weigh a little more. However, I don't know if this would even matter, but when it's on the carriage system with our smooth ball bearing wheels, it is such a smooth movement that you really can't tell that you're pulling a 40-pound weight, so to say, on the carriage system. just because how smooth that is. And so the wheels on the machine help alleviate what that weight is. Now, if you're thinking about carrying it places, then yeah, it is heavier. I don't recommend taking it to your quilt guild.
Yeah, once you put it on the frame, you shouldn't have
Yeah.
to take it on and off, like you would a domestic machine where you're moving it back and forth to piecing. So getting that initial lift on there, and it is able to be, you can use, because it's all full metal, you can put your hand here, you can put your hand here. There's lots of ways to easily carry it and put it on there.
Yep. Okay, other questions that come up with the machine. One is maintenance. What's the process of maintaining the 21X Elite?
So one thing that they need to do is oiling. So that's the number one thing you're going to be doing with your machine all the time. Now in your manual, it's going to tell you about how often you oil. So right here, you won't be able to see, I'm just going to point at it, but it's just behind the screen here is a spot that you do oil for the needle bar. And then down here in the bobbin casing, and you can see just right inside here, this little hook that comes on. You'll take out your bobbin case and then you'll turn it so that hook comes up at the top, and it's just, and for both of these, it's a small little drop of oil. You do not have to like squirt it on there and get everything through. It's a small drop of oil. I believe the bobbin case is every other time you change it, and then the needle one has instructions for how often you're going to be doing that.
Yeah, just a couple times a month. So yeah, oiling it, that's pretty much all you need to do is maintain the machine. What I also love is it's a sealed ball bearing. And so that's why when I say just oil it, that's pretty much all you need to do. Down in the bottom here where the bobbin is, there's a plate. So as you want to clean the lint outside of the bobbin area, normally they say don't blow on it. You can actually get an air canister. You can blow on it if you wanted to from your mouth. Just be careful, don't be too close to it because whatever's in there will just bounce right back out. So it has a sealed plate, and then the rest of the machine are all ball bearing moving components, and so it stays lubricated inside it. So you don't have to take the machine apart. You don't have to take it in to get it your maintenance on there. As long as you just oil the needle bar and the bobbin hook, you are good to go. And that is truly how easy it is to maintain the 21X Elite, which really separates it from a lot of other machines out there. We don't want to have you take the machine off, lug it into your car, take it in. Now, we do have resources on our website that talk about and show a video on like timing your own machine. Timing is something that will happen on any long arm machine. Timing is something that you may come across. If you've been quilting long enough, you probably already had a timing that had to come up with it. So we do support you with a timing tool, with instructions, with videos, and not just the timing part, but if you go to our website, we also support in many other areas, and so you can watch our resources to help maintain the machine. So it's just really easy on the maintenance part.
Our last question I think we have time for is from Deidre Powell. What is the warranty and cost for recertified, assuming 22 can't be on the Breeze? So the 21, yes, we did talk about the warranty. So if you're just jumping in now, you can have that. It's on there, and then the recertified will not fit, or any 21 won't fit on the new Cutie Breeze because it's that throw space. So it only works on the Evolution Elite and Evolution hoop frame. We have room for one more. So Deborah Locke, does the ruler table for the 15R fit the 21? No. So you would have to get a different ruler base for the 21. And the rear handles have to be specific to the 21X Elite. But almost all other accessories will work. So all the hopping feet are compatible with each other. So if you have 15R, you can put them on the 21X Elite. Your Magnifique, which comes with it, which is right here, of course you can put that on there. So that helps you being able to look at your needle when you're threading. But all the hopping feet are compatible, but just that ruler base and rear handles for the accessories aren't.
Yep. So it is, I mean, the questions from the 21X Elite, it is a pretty easy machine, easy to thread. That's nothing that pops up. So we have videos on threading the machine. Again, super easy. But to recap kind of what this is, Janna, a very easy machine to maintain, adjustable handles, a lot of wonderful features that come in the 7-inch screen, 2,600 stitches per minute. So it's a very fast built-in bobbin winder. And we have dealers all over. So if you've been considering getting a 21X Elite, or for the matter of machines. If you've been looking at any of our other machines, then you can visit our dealer locator. You can actually, go into the store. A lot of them have them on their floor. You can go online. They're just everywhere. So contact them.
And there's a special
to find
right
out.
now. So this month, for all those people
Yes,
who are
there
like,
is.
oh, I have space, but I don't have money, or I've been thinking about upgrading, the 21X Elite is on special this month. So check it out because there's some fantastic deals. It's the cheapest it's been all year long. You guys can take advantage of that now before Christmas so that you're not waiting to do those quilts before the end of the year. You can get it right now and get them all finished.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your questions. We hope you join us next time for our next Q&A. We'll be talking about the little Rebel.
Oh, that's going to be so exciting.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you later.